while longer. So in your talks, you do talk about fishing with your father. So early on in life, you had contact with nature, right? So how did that affect who you are or who you became, your relationship with nature so early on?
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. A couple different reasons. One is when you are in a working poor family, as I was, and very uneducated parents in terms of relatively, grade 8 education and kind of surviving as they did, both working full-time jobs, off shift work, etc. The one thing you can do for virtually free is to go into nature. And in those days, that was my dad's way of escape from his kind of, life of the routine. And my mother loved it too. And it just seemed to be what I would just really associate the word for them is freedom. For me as a child, I got certainly that sense of freedom because when you're out there, you can run and go. But, there was also the discipline of fishing and catching fish. So I call that, the instinct, the primal instinct of learning to be a hunter, which is essential not only to males, but hunters and gatherers all still have to hunt. You have to know all the skills of how to read nature, how to work with her, and to therefore, accomplish the harvest, so to speak. So I learned to be an incredibly good observer. Thank you, my father, now passed long, but that is also then nature itself. I will say in general, other than extreme events in nature like volcanoes and hurricanes and tornadoes, which do happen, um, there and infestations like locusts and so on, which have been part of the traumatic history of human cultures. But in general, on a regular kind of basis, nature is one thing you can kind of trust. And that's not easily said about cultures and peoples when they interact. A lot more unknowns, untrustable factors. So I learned a deep base of what I'd call a faith, if you will, in a deep trust of the natural principles of order, and that nature doesn't basically hurt you. It's not out to hurt you and oppress you.